welcome to Ivy's Fortress. I'm Ashanta, your reading friend, and we have People Are Wild by Margaux Meganck. I hope I'm saying that correctly. If not, I do apologize. But people are wild, and I agree. But so are animals. So let's figure out what she's talking about. It says, what does an elephant see when it looks at you? Maybe we're going to figure out what animals think about us. But before we get reading, let's throw on my reading glasses. Much better. All right. Wild creatures come in all shapes and sizes. They can be playful or loud or curious or cute, just like kids. People Are Wild turns the tables and asks what animals think of us. We may not always see eye to eye, but the more we understand each other, the better we're able to live in harmony. I think that is very beautifully worded because, man, I don't like to hurt animals. I don't want to hurt animals, and I'm not going to hurt animals. However, sometimes when we live in disharmony or just mess, I guess is the best way to put it, and we don't understand each other's lifestyles and patterns, then we start to have some dysfunction. And dysfunction is not comforting to anybody. So let's see how the animals see us and how we can live in harmony. People Are Wild by Margaux Meganck, and this is a Alfred A. Knopf, New York book. Mama, what is that? That's a person. Don't get too close. Why not? Because people are wild. Honk, honk, honk. Marco, polo, polo, polo. So loud. So messy. So smelly. So nosy. Such strange creatures. But Mama, people are also just like us. They're funny. Can you imagine a fish seeing us wear these big flipping shoes in the water? And they have just one fin, managing it just fine. And cuddly. And cute. When I was reading this to my daughter, we thought this little girl looked like her. Each one unique and such fun to watch. Oh, Mama, can we keep her? No, little one. People are wild. And all wild creatures should be free. Now, because this was a short book, I'm going to read the wild facts that our author decided to share with us, which are pretty neat because some of these things I didn't know about animals myself. African elephants eat hundreds of pounds of grass, leaves, and fruit each day. Fruit pits and seeds pass through elephants' digestive systems unscathed, falling back to earth encased in the perfect fertilizer. Elephant dung. This is how elephants help plant the next generation of forests wherever they roam. How unique. Poop is powerful. Asiatic black bears are expert tree climbers, and sometimes they'll even sit in a nest of sorts. Don't be fooled, though. These nests are not their homes. They are just the discarded branches left over from a fatty meal of nuts, which the bears eat to prepare for hibernation. Anthony's poison dart frogs do not make their own poison. They collect toxins stored in glands in their skin from the insects they eat until they build up enough to poison predators. Without this diet, their skin would be no more poisonous than that of a common bullfrog. Northern fur seals are most graceful in the water, but on land they have an edge over true seals who have to bounce around on their bellies. Northern fur seals can rotate their hind flippers and walk on all fours. Though they were nearly hunted to extinction for their thick fur coats, it is now illegal to hunt northern fur seals, but their survival is still threatened by commercial fishing. Iberian lynx are the most endangered species in this book. They face many challenges from shrinking habitat to lack of food, but scientists have been working hard to reintroduce lynx to wildlife preserves and to replenish their supply of tasty rabbits. As a result, their numbers are growing. That's good news. Hoatzins, spelled Hoatzins, use a pouch-like organ in their necks to ferment their favorite drink, a high-fiber veggie smoothie. In the process, they produce methane, the same gas that comes from cow manure. Now, that's bed breath. This is what earns the Hoatzin its unfortunate nickname, stink bird. Aww. Gray bats hibernate in the winter by huddling together in caves to save energy and survive the cold. If a human disturbs a cave of hibernating bats, some may wake from hibernation early. It takes so much energy to warm their bodies back up. They might not survive the rest of the winter. This is why it's important to leave hibernating bats alone. Well, okay, bats, leave me alone because you bother my household. You hide in little places in my garage and sneak into places where I don't want you. So leave me alone. Bats. Sorry, personal projection right there. Parsons chameleons. Incredible eyes can focus together like humans or separately, allowing them to see in two directions at once. Chameleons are best known for their remarkable ability to change color, but research suggests that camouflage might not be the only reason. The chameleons may be communicating their emotions to other lizards nearby. Man, I wish I could turn like pink when I'm in love or yellow when I'm happy. People would easily know. But I guess I'm okay with being human. I'm wild. Maned three-toed sloths get very little energy from their low-fat leafy diet, but some scientists believe sloths keep a nutritious snack close at hand by farming algae in their fur. The algae is fed by moths, which also live in the sloth's fur. In exchange, the moths get a warm place to live to lay their eggs in sloth poop. Sloths are safest when they spend their time in treetops, which is why deforestation is their greatest threat, which is taking away forests to provide for our own needs as humans. So let's try to keep the forest, people. And if you want to take down the forest, try to live in it first. Clark's anemone fish. Looks like Nemo. That's where Nemo gets his name. Huh. Interesting. Live within a sea anemone's venomous tentacles. Wearing a thick coat of mucus to avoid being stung, they eat the anemone's leftovers while keeping it clean in return. The creatures protect each other from predators and live longer when together. This is called a symbiotic relationship. Koalas can eat toxic eucalyptus leaves because of the special microorganisms that live in their gut and break down eucalyptus toxins. Baby koalas are born unable to digest eucalyptus, so they eat pap, a bacteria-rich food koala mothers make in addition to milk. Koalas rely on healthy eucalyptus forests, so you can help koalas by preventing wildfires and deforestation. Giraffes. Giraffes' long necks allow them to reach up high, see far away, and pack a punch. When two males compete for a mate, they sometimes swing their giant necks around, picking up speed and crashing their thick skulls into one another. Ouch. But don't try this at home, kids. Giraffes' heads and necks are much stronger than ours. Yeah, that made my head hurt so bad. Shout out to you, giraffes, for having such strong bodies. Monarch butterflies can be found across the world, but every spring the North American monarchs start an amazing migration. They fly north from Mexico as temperatures rise, laying eggs on milkweed plants along the way. When the weather shifts in the fall, some scientists believe they use the magnetic pull of the earth and the direction of the sun to guide them back to south to spend the winter in the same location the migration started. I will say a little note, which is actually a huge note. God beautifully designs this world, because how a butterfly can recognize a magnetic pull is miraculous to me. Milkweed, and I can't even tell the difference between north, south, east, and west if I just go outside right now. I mean, I can't, but milkweed toxic moths have a special defense against predators. They taste terrible. As caterpillars, they eat milkweed, a toxic plant, which makes them taste bad. Bats like to eat moths, so milkweed tussock moths make ultrasonic clicks to warn bats not to eat them. It's like they're saying, "Don't eat me, you'll be sorry." Like, look, these facts are wild, but they are so helpful to get us to know our neighbors in nature, and they are very beautiful. Friends that we may see randomly that visit us from the wild, or when we decide to go into the wild and visit them and see how they live. It's a very unique experience, and I encourage anybody to just, when they have a chance, just get to know a wild animal, whether it's researching them at a local library or talking to an individual that is an expert in wildlife, because knowing our neighbors in nature is more powerful to us than it is hurtful. So enough about my spills. Let's read about our author and illustrator. Margaux Meganck spends her days dodging raindrops and drawing from her imagination in beautiful Portland, Oregon. From nannying to early childhood art education to book selling, Margaux has always worked with and around children's literature. She is also the illustrator of All We Need by Kathy Wolf. People Are Wild marks her debut as an author-illustrator. You can learn more about her on Instagram and Twitter and at margauxmeganck.com. Here's my beautiful little look-alike daughter. It's funny, I didn't even intend to get this book because there was a character that looked like her. I got this book because it's interesting to see people talk about people from an animal's perspective. I never even considered that, and I'm pretty imaginative myself. So I am very interested to learn more about wildlife, and maybe I'll look into discovering some species that may be my favorite or remind me of myself, because we're all connected on this earth. That's why we should take care of one another. Well, that's all I have for you friends today. I will catch you next time. Bye-bye. We truly enjoy sharing our adventures with you here at Ivy's Fortress. If you do too, like our videos and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Well, what are you doing? It is your choice, but we'll race you there. Bye.